Welcome back to the Your Next Move podcast. My name is Kimberly Brown. I am your host. And if you have been listening for a little while, today's episode is going to be pretty different. If you are new to me, well, you're going to get an earfill and get to know me very, very quick. I went old school today. I literally have handwritten notes, y'all, handwritten notes of what I want to talk about. And you'll have to forgive me. I am a little nervous. If you're watching this video, you're probably going to see the discomfort in my face and my body language, but I'm going to work through it. So essentially, y'all, I have been hiding and I'm in this big period where I'm feeling a lot of dissonance between the vision I have for my life and who I currently am and what I am currently doing. I have felt this dissonance before. If I take it all the way back to, let's say, probably 2021, right? And probably 2020 was probably when I started to feel it much stronger. I was in this period where I was fighting to keep my life in my full time corporate job, my team, climbing the corporate ladder, all of those things while I was building a company. There's a moment I've talked about before where I was on the elevator in my big corporate job with my boss, and I believe my skip leader was there too. And someone came into the elevator and they saw me and they got excited. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you going to be here today? Like, are you speaking here today? Like, what is Manifest Yourself doing in the building?" And folks who didn't know my real name used to just call me Manifest Yourself. And for the first time, I felt shame about my corporate job in that moment. And not just because my boss was there and my skip leader, and they were like, they knew I had a life outside of work, but they were like, "What is manifestors like? I don't, what are they talking about?" But I felt shame that I was in a position where I had to play smaller. Through most of my jobs, as my profile outside of my 9 to 5 grew, I had to placate to people, places, things, situations in my 9 to 5 role to be smaller. And I'm feeling that dissonance now, but I'm an entrepreneur, which means I'm creating my space. So why do I feel so small? And it's because I know I've been hiding and I haven't allowed myself to play on the level and scale that I'd like to play on. And I was listening to a YouTube video today, and I could link it in the show notes. I honestly have not even finished the YouTube video, but there are some things I literally slacked myself because I wanted to remember, and I want to share them with you today. And it says, "You cannot pray your way into what God designed for you to structure your way into. God will not bring success into chaos. Structure precedes success. God will not give you more if you cannot structure what you already have. You cannot pray for a bigger assignment if the smaller one is in disorder. Without vision, structure feels like restriction." So, when I was listening to this podcast, it made me think about how I do have a vision for where I would like to go. 110%. Y'all, it is clear. I was talking to my husband this weekend about some of the achievements I want to have while I'm here on this earth, things that I want to experience. And I know that I am not showing up as that girl. I am placating to a smaller version of myself. And I've also set things up to be smaller. So when I think about those quotes that I shared with you, that God will not bring success into chaos, I'm not in chaos, but I have set things up to be small. I have set things to work here. And I know that this dissonance, this discomfort, all of these things that I've been experiencing and not allowing myself to just like spread my wings and show up, it would be hard to bless me with more. It would be hard to manifest more if, when we think about the law of attraction, like what you really and truly believe is what comes to you. And if I have not worked on the belief of that, I am that girl and all of the things that I want, the life that I want to live, the business I want to have is really and truly possible for me, it's out of alignment. And for me, the reason why I've been playing small is honestly perfectionism, people pleasing, and fear of judgment. I don't like to be seen out in the world trying. I like you to see me when things are done. Okay. Like even today doing this podcast, I put the camera on and then I was like, oh, girl, you ain't put no makeup on. Go put some concealer on. Some people would just go on ahead and recorded, like, see you in the raw. That's not me. I went and put a little something on just to make sure my skin looked how I wanted it to look. But that is really and truly a metaphor for how I've done so many other things in my life, y'all. So many other things that I will rewind and set myself up to look better, to not be seen trying, to not be seen making a mistake. I don't want people to see me making mistakes, right? And I'm also fearful of judgment. So if I try something new, and what if folks don't like it? What if folks come out and be like, what does Kimberly think she was doing? Okay. You've heard bits and pieces of who I am in different episodes, especially if you want to hear a little bit more about my background. There are 2 episodes with Jessica Hurley where she interviewed me. She was my old podcast producer and she is the queen of vulnerability. She interviewed me and you got to see more behind the scenes about me and my life. So if you're curious about those things, go watch those 2 episodes. But I have really constructed this penitentiary for myself and that things must be perfect. And it's not serving me. It's not serving me, and it's honestly not serving you. Me pretending to be perfect, me hiding the parts of myself that I'm still working on is not helping anyone. If anything, it's not allowing people to know what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, and how I can be helped by being more open, honest, and vulnerable. So, why am I doing this right now? If you were listening to this episode on July 15th, it is my birthday. And I just noticed that this is episode 139 and I'm turning 39. Okay. I am big on personal New Year's, on fresh starts, and all of those things. And every single year before my birthday, I get into a deeply reflective mood. I am thinking about all of the goals, all of the accomplishments, all of the things I set out to do. What did I actually get done? What happened? What can I celebrate? And what do I need to look at myself in the mirror and be like, girl, do better? But this year, I'm thinking about how in 1 year I will be 40. 40. Y'all, first of all, I feel 27. I don't feel 40. I don't feel closer to 40. These knees feel close to 40. But I personally, Kimberly Brown, in this moment, I do not feel like I am this close to 40. But as of today, when you listen to this, I'm recording it the day before, so I'm 38 now. But when you listen to this, I am 39 years old. And in 365 days, I will be 40. And I feel called to do something different, called to live differently, called to keep trying to bring my vision to life and to allow the world to see me trying, right? And I'm just going to take up all this new energy, something I've been working on, a belief that I've been working on believing for myself and internalizing is that it doesn't necessarily matter how many times you've restarted. What matters is that you're resilient and you restart. And I love the book Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes about how she spent a year saying yes. I love, if you are an old school YouTuber, you probably know Shameless Maya. She's very different now, but she did a year, I believe, of being shameless. This is my year of facing my fears. And I want to ruthlessly go after my vision and become the person who I see in that vision by the time I turn 40. And I want to do that out loud. So, how am I doing that? I'm not changing this whole podcast and making it all this fear means go experiment. That's what I'm calling it. But I am starting a Substack. And this isn't necessarily a big invitation marketing rollout. This is more of an invitation if you want to follow along on this journey. I invite you to read my Substack. This morning at 6 a.m., I released 3 posts. They are already live about me being the problem. Another post that is about my mom and about kind of how I'm processing grief. And another one more about some of the physical goals that I have for myself and some ailments that I've struggled with for years and years and years. That is all up to read right now on Substack for free. My Substack is not monetized. Not at this point it is. But I need a space to be seen trying. That is the goal from this. So this is really bringing me back to my 2011 roots. If you know a little bit about my story, how I got started online, I was a blogger. Right. So I used to blog like 5 times a week, writing posts on a bunch of different things. If you remember old school manifest yourself, an overachiever, learning it's okay to achieve. That was the tagline. I wrote about career, leadership, my personal struggles with weight gain, weight loss, trying new classes, anything new I was doing, I talked about it on my blog. And Substack is the thing, and I'm going to be doing that over there. So if you want to learn more behind the scenes about who I am, about things that I'm trying, if you want to see me trying out loud, I know Danielle Leslie has put a lot of content out about this recently, and I really, really, really resonate with it. A lot of times we only want to show the done. Our goal is to show the perfect. And me, this girl right here, that is me. Okay. I only want to show the done, perfect, accomplished, but I am going to pivot and take y'all along on the journey to see me trying, to see me combating my fears. And also, this is part of me doing research for my new book. I'm working on book number 2, and I really want to talk about fear and leadership. I really am excited about it. I have some concepts, I have some frameworks that I want to share, but what is missing is the personal attributes, the personal story. My first book, Next Move, Best Move, Transitioning into a Career You'll Love, is a career manual. If you want to create a 2-year career strategy to make your next move, to make your next best move, go get Next Move, Best Move. That is what that book is all about. I dabble in some stories there, but it is really about helping the reader take action, clarify who they are, what they want in the world, build relationships, how to explode their personal brand to achieve their goals, and how do you build a career plan? Because we're not taught that. But the next book, Fear Means Go, tentatively titled, Fear Means Go, what I titled my Substack, is really about how do we overcome our fears, because to be a great leader, and that's to lead in your business, in your 9-to-5 career, in your own daggone life. To lead, you have to overcome your fears and develop yourself inside. Personally develop yourself. Personal development. You need to make your own personal development plan to overcome your fears. Be open, be honest, be vulnerable. It's a big part of being a great leader. So as I'm working on this, I'm going to do it out loud with y'all. So if you are interested in learning more about me, I encourage you to go over to Substack. I will link it in the show notes, and I hope that you will go over there, subscribe, comment, interact with me, talk. I'll share a little bit more on social media too, but my goal is to really make this new safe place for myself to be seen trying out loud on Substack. And you may see some changes this upcoming year. Y'all, I'm really excited. I talk about this penitentiary that I've created for myself. And I wrote that in my journal maybe about a month or so ago. So I've been noodling on this Substack idea. I actually wrote the posts a while ago, and I've been editing and fine tuning and fine tuning. And when I wrote that line in my journal, I put all of the things that I aspire to. I put all of my goals. I put all the things I want, the feelings I want, the people, everything. I put it, and I put a box in the center, and I wrote me. And I was like, I've created this box that is literally holding me back from all of the things that I want. And when I realized that I'm the problem, I was like, if I'm the problem, then I am the solution. And it is about time that I believe that I can solve any problem that is impacting me. And there's no time like the present to get going. So I invite you to join me over on Substack. I thank you for listening today, for listening to this deeply personal episode, which I feel like is making my skin crawl and being this open and honest. But my goal is to do more of this over the next year. So if you want to come along on the journey, I don't know what to promise you. I don't have a frequency or this or that or a plan. I don't got a plan to show you. I don't. I am working out the plan in real time. All I know is that I'm looking to get better and better every day in every way. That is it. So if you want to experience that, join me over on Substack. Comment on this podcast episode wherever you are listening. Let me know what you're going through, what's going on, what you want to see, what you want to hear. Or let me know how you feel about the podcast in general. I would love to see some updated reviews. People have been listening. I know folks are listening, but it's been a long time since I asked for reviews. So I'm using my birthday today, when you are listening, if it's July 15th, as kind of a reset for myself. And I encourage you to come along the journey with me. And as always, may your next move be your very best move.